Sounds like he's having a fun time to me. Going to the circus, going to the circus. Yep, that's right, I'm going to the circus. Childhood dreams. But some people don't necessarily think so. Animal circuses are a bit controversial, and in an effort to avoid controversy, like I always do, I'm gonna go and check it out and see what I can find. Alright, here we are. Okay, so let me give a bit of background. Last night there was a huge backlash on social media here in Amanus, directed really kind of against the circus, animal cruelty, things of that nature, because obviously it's an animal circus, they train animals and they do tricks and all sorts of things. So I wanted to see what it's all about for myself, kind of get a first-hand view of it and kind of see if I can portray that. I'm completely unbiased. I don't really have a kind of a horse in this race. I want to find out what the story is here, get their version of events. I think there's a couple of protesters over there. I want to get their version of events and kind of just see what the deal is, to be honest. So I'm here with David. He's the owner of McLaren Circus. Part of the reason for me being here is I noticed last night that there was a bit of a social media backlash.
Yes.
Against the circus.
Yes. I never engage in social media.
Gotcha.
I never engage in social media. It gets nasty. People never want to take an informative piece from us. All these people claim to be such big animal lovers and against animals that are trained or exhibited, but many of them, if you look on their Facebook profiles, they got horses kept in stables all day. They train horses. So what's the difference between your trained horse and my trained horse? What's the difference between a dog down the road at a dog training facility being taught to do tricks and mine? These same people that are out here have never protested the ex-JMB Met, the now Sun Met horse racing event.
Yeah.
Because they all get dressed up fancy and they don't mind horses.
Here's a question, because that's a very valid point. Yeah. Here's a question. Some people might say, well, it's because at least the horses have paddocks that they can run in. Yes. Dogs get taken for walks on beaches.
Yes.
But so what happens to your animals?
Well, the lions and tigers have play cages. They are not confined to their mobile trailer that they get transported in. Got enough room for them. When you move from town to town, there's enough space for the big cat to move around, sit up, stretch. They're not in these little barren containers that people say they are. So, you know, when people start talking these things, it's double standards. I mean, how many of these people are keeping Jack Russell dogs in little townhouses?
So you're saying there's an element of hypocrisy when it comes to
definitely, definitely. You look on the people's profiles.
It just got a bit noisy over there, so we had to move. But you were on an important string there, so you talked about the animal welfare.
Yes, yesterday we had the Hermanus Animal Welfare Society come and visit our animals. They found nothing wrong with our animals. Every town that we go, we are inspected by the SPCA, sometimes by the NSPCA. Every single town that we move, they stand backstage, they watch the handling of our animals, they watch us train our animals, they there.
It's like a childhood dream. Backstage at a circus. Okay, so this is the large pen as well. Okay, and I take it you do a lot of trainings in here. They come out here.
No, we never do training. This is where they have free movement to go in and out.
Okay.
Could be bigger. We do make it bigger on longer stands.
Gotcha.
But I mean, the cat has movement to go in and outside. They don't need hectares to run on because they have no desire to run. They're not hunting.
And how often do they sleep?
About 20 hours a day.
Okay. So we're here looking at these beautiful creatures just getting ready to go on, and as soon as David comes up to them, they all swarm him. Maybe they're expecting a treat. Maybe they know when you come there's a treat.
They just want a little scratch.
Yeah, because they seem to enjoy that.
They
beautiful.
Want a little scratch on their...
They're expecting some treats, and they're full grown.
Yeah.
Well, that was very interesting, being behind the scenes at a circus. David was explaining to me that the reason why he's not allowing me to video the animals, there's certain kind of, I guess, trade secrets he has that makes his circus a bit more unique. But now I'm heading over across the street, and there's a group of protesters who are protesting the circus, making their voice heard. So we'll go have a chat with them. Here we go, let's get in focus. There we go. Right, finally made it. Here I am with Norah, who's, I guess, been identified as one of the ringleaders behind these protesters, which you guys seem to have a very valid point, and this is the reason why I'm here. I just want to understand a bit more about what you're doing here and really why why you're protesting on the street corner.
This is something very close to our hearts. You know, I learned about wild animals and circuses when I was a little girl. I would go to the circus with my parents, and in those days they had bears as well that would perform in the circus. And the only thing I remember of those circuses was standing outside crying, because already then I felt almost a need to set them free. The reason we're standing here today is that the animals don't have a say. They don't have a choice to perform day in and day out.
Even the truck drivers agree with you. Okay. So as you know, I've actually gone and spoken to David. He's given me his version of events, and now I'm coming to get your version of events. One of the points that he raises is he said, well, he thinks that there's an element of hypocrisy when it comes to the protesting here. And the hypocrisy is revolving around, there are many animals kept in captivity.
David definitely has a point. They are in captivity.
Stop for a second there. I'm busy editing and I love this lady. I've never met her before, but what I like about her is she's not an extremist. Okay, now let me clarify that. Extremists are people who have an agenda and refuse to listen to truth, regardless of whether that proves part of their agenda wrong. And that's the problem with a lot of what we have today, is there are extremists who will just be, no, 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 I'm not listening, and just because it's truth, it doesn't change my viewpoint on the agenda.
The reason they are in captivity, and I'm talking now especially about Panthera, is because of the aftermath of the circus. And
can I just say, Panthera is awesome.
Animals there have come from circuses all over the world that have closed down because there has been a worldwide ban of circuses. David is right in the sense that they are in captivity, but they are not forced to perform twice a day. Now, they are the first people to say that a tiger and a lion sleeps about 22 hours a day. 3 o'clock is their show, so do they get woken up out of their sleep and then forced to perform?
David claims that the SPCA and animal regulators and all of that have been in there, have inspected him at every single time he goes there, inspect him, and nowhere do they find some sort of reason to shut him down. David
is very, very right about that, and David makes very, very sure that his inoculations are done. All the permits and the legislations as far as animal welfare is 100% up to date. The NSPCA, the SPCA, they cannot fault him on that. And a lot of people are saying, but the animals are well looked after, they're well fed, they're watered, they've got a shelter.
But this isn't about that.
There's a difference between animal welfare and animal rights.
So I guess if there was one thing that you wanted to say to the circus and to David, and then what would that be?
I really have a very clear-cut message for the McLarens. I am so eagerly awaiting the day that you do not have wild animals in your circuses, because I would love to see your human acts and we would love to support you. And I think it's time that you actually go back to the drawing board, look at modern times. This is not the lifestyle for your animals. You love them, you know that.
Okay, so I got both sides of the story there. I'm gonna go inside and watch the circus act. Oh! Huh, what an interesting night. The acts there were phenomenal, really great. But that's, oh, I'm going into darkness here. But that's not really what this vlog is about. This vlog is about, I guess it's about the ethics and the morality around the animals. But anyway, tell me what you think. I have no doubt that this video is going to cause a bit of a stir. There's going to be comments below. I get that, that's great. Let's have a discussion. Let's keep it clean, all right? Let's not make it abusive. Let's make it constructive, and let's get chatting. Comments below. Is this the right thing to do? Is it not? And don't forget to share this vlog, create a bit of awareness, and go to my Facebook page up here or up here. Click like, because it's the right thing to do. Go!